I got my Firefox browser ready to go. So let's take a look at the shop page so I can look at my products. And if you are following along the tutorial, at this point you probably have something like this, where let's say if I'm pretending I'm a customer and I know exactly which product I like, and I can click on it from inside that product grid, which of course will take me to the single product page. I can take a look at a closer look at of my product, or a different view if I need to, right? Like the bottom of the boot, you see the detail in there. So I'm sold on this product and I'm ready to go. So if I click add to cart and I get a confirmation that my product has been added to my cart, from this point on I can just click view cart, which will take me to the cart page, right? So, and this looks good, so from this point on I can proceed to checkout. And this is which we are on the checkout page at this point, where I'm sure you've seen this before. This is where you would input your billing details, your shipping information, as well as your payment information. Now WooCommerce by default comes with two options, which are direct bank transfer and check payments. Now both of these options are not really used in the e-commerce world because they simply delay things way too much. So that's why the most popular options are either PayPal or credit card payments. So that's exactly what we'll do for our store. Now if you don't have a PayPal account, getting one is really easy. All you gotta do is go to paypal.com, click on this sign up for free button. You'll type in your email, your password, and your confirmation. That's it. That's all you need. Your email account or your email address works as your bank account number with PayPal. So really all you need whenever you need to send somebody money or they need to send you money, all they really need is your email address. So once you have a PayPal account created, we can go to WooCommerce, to the back end of our site. And right now I'm under WooCommerce settings, and once you are under settings you will click on the checkout tab. So that is where I'm at right now. You'll see under checkout we have several different options, such as BACS, which is bank transfers, check, cash on delivery, Majira checkout, and then PayPal. Now we'll be talking about PayPal and one more option that I love, which is my #1 payment gateway as of today. Now what we'll do is, at this point I first want to disable the bank transfers and check options. So first of all I click under BACS, uncheck the enable bank transfer option, and then save changes. And then I'll do the same thing for check payments. Great. Now I can go to the PayPal option. Then I can click enable PayPal standard. And the only thing I need is under the PayPal email label. I just need to type in my email address that is associated with my PayPal account. And then of course don't forget to save changes at the bottom. And that's it. Now once I go back to my checkout page, I now have an option to check out with PayPal, right? So if I click proceed to PayPal, at this point I'll be redirected I'll be basically taken out of my website and go and finish the checkout process through PayPal. Now that is great because it's simple. You don't have to do much on your end. There's not a whole lot of hoops and things that you need to install on your server, such as SSL certificates or any other merchant accounts necessary. PayPal acts as a merchant account, by itself. So they basically act as a payment gateway and merchant account combined into one. So the bad thing is that you just taking out your customer out of your own website and taking them to a third-party website. And even though PayPal they got a nice enough interface, it's getting a little outdated. And a lot of people, believe it or not, at this point they may get confused, and they may think the very first thing they may think is, I don't have a PayPal account. So without even taking a look at this option, that of course a lot of us know that you can also pay with a credit card or debit card for that matter if you don't have a PayPal account. But it's just a lot of people will get confused, like I said, and they will just leave at this point. They'll think they need a PayPal account, or they think that somehow they ended up in the wrong website or the wrong part of the web. So they'll leave your store, and you could have potentially lost a sale. So that is why we need, on top of PayPal, it'd be also really smart to provide an integrated payment solution that keeps your customer inside your store. So how do we do that? Now I'll go back and I'll open up a new tab again to take a look at my site. So okay, got my site on one tab, and under checkout options, well, we now know that we have PayPal ready to go, right? So if I go and click on checkout at the top, this will also take me to the checkout page. As you can see, we have PayPal as an option. We want to add one more option that will keep our customers inside our store, and they can just type in the credit card information here and then check out successfully. So how do we do that? There are quite a few options for you. Some of the ones that come to mind are Authorizenet, which is of course Authorizenet is the URL. Now Authorizenet or Authorizenet is actually one of the big ones as well, but the problem is that they'll charge you a fee per month whether you sell anything or not. As of this recording, I believe it's around $29-30 a month. So whether you sell anything or not, they'll charge you this amount plus a fee. I believe it's $99 to open up a merchant account with Authorizenet, and for every single transaction that you have, you'll also pay a percentage, such as 2.9% plus 30 cents, I believe. 2.9% of course of your purchase total plus 30 cents. So it's just really, it's a whole bunch of fees and things you don't really need at this point when you're trying to get started. So the new kid on the block is called Stripe, and that is my personal, the company that I personally use, that also provides you with that integrated payment for your WooCommerce store without any monthly fees. So that is why I absolutely love Stripe, and they're just one of those companies that they've been growing like crazy. Unfortunately, they're not supported in all countries yet. Like I said, they're still a fairly new company in this payment gateway world. So, but if you are lucky enough to live in one of the countries that Stripe supports, I strongly suggest you check them out. And all you really need to do with Stripe is you'll need to create an account. So just visit the website, it's called stripe.com. Click on the sign up button. At this point, you'll create an email, a password, you confirm your password. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this step because I already have an account, and I just wanted to show you the backend of Stripe. Now you'll get a message something like this, and Stripe kindly gives you a quick start guide. For now, we'll close this, and you can see this the Stripe backend. It's quite beautiful. It's really super user friendly. It's made to get you in and out really quickly. For example, let's take a look at the Authorizenet backend just for comparison's sake. So this is the Authorizenet backend as of today. So as you can see, it's not quite as streamlined as Stripe's. They have a whole bunch of things that are a little bit intimidating if you're a newbie to e-commerce, such as virtual terminal, fraud detection suite, sync for QuickBooks. I mean, it's just way too many things that you don't want to deal with at this point. Now, that is why I love Stripe. It's just to the point. You can do pretty much everything that you can do with the Authorizenet backend, but just really quickly, really intuitively. As you can see here, your Stripe account can be in test mode or live mode. So for example, if you're not ready to launch your site, your e-commerce site at any point, and you don't want to keep charging fees or charging purchase orders to your credit card, you can just set your Stripe account under test, and that way you can you don't have to incur any fees or anything like that. It's just any transactions that happen while Stripe is in test mode won't count. And look how easy it is to change from live to test. It's just a little switch. Now of course we have to activate our account for this to happen. So let me just show you what you can do here. What we'll do is you have to go to under your account, click there, and you'll see a drop down. From this point on, you can click account settings, give your account a name, you select your country, time zone, and then you have other options such as team members, other users of course that are authorized to look at your Stripe account, make charges to customers, credit cards if they need to, so on and so forth. The API keys, which we'll be talking about these. Your WooCommerce store will need these keys. This is how basically you plug in your account numbers into WooCommerce using the API keys. Subscriptions, we won't be talking about it in subscriptions. And this is the first thing that you want to add, which is under transfers. You'll want to take a look at add bank accounts, and from here you just click the add bank account. You type in your routing number, your account number, and then click add bank account. So how easy is that, right? That's all you gotta do. That way, once a customer order has been placed successfully, and the waiting period, the pending period has gone through, the money will be sitting in your Stripe account, which is kind of a pass-through account. It's not necessarily a merchant account. So your money will be, let's say it will be in hold on your Stripe account for a few days, and then it will automatically be deposited into your personal bank account. So of course, if this was a merchant account, there will be quite a few other things that you have to set up and other fees that you would have to pay, but that's not the case here. So that is another reason why I just simply love Stripe. There are no fees at all to get started. So let's go ahead and let me just switch and let me show you my own personal Stripe account so you can see some of the features that I'm talking about. And as you can see here in the left side, we got customers, recipients, payments, transfers, where you can see when orders were placed, when payments have been posted, and exactly when they will be transferred to your bank account. So from this point on, I can click account settings again, and this is all my personal information, some of the stuff that we're taking a look at before. My bank account, and some of the applications that I'm using connected to Stripe that also use Stripe as the payment gateway to get paid. But that's fairly easy to do, right? So once you have your Stripe account ready to go, now we need a way to incorporate Stripe with WoCommerce, and thankfully for us, there is a plugin for that. So all you need to do is go to woothemes.com, and at this point you'll click on WooCommerce, or you'll go to the WooCommerce menu option, and then you'll click extensions. Now of course, from here what we want to do is look for the extension called Stripe. So just gotta type in Stripe inside the search box, and you'll see this the extension pop up here. It's called Stripe Gateway for WooCommerce. So you click on it, it'll take you to the actual extension page, and as you can see here, the single license for this add-on is $79, which may be a little expensive, but when you think about it, it's saving you a whole bunch of money, since you don't have to pay for compared to Authorizenet, you won't have to pay any monthly fees or any one-time merchant account fees or go through that entire process. All we really need to do, like I said, is create a free Stripe account and then download this add-on. And just to be fair, whether you choose Authorizenet or any other payment gateway, you'll still need to pay for that add-on through WooThemes, unless you can find that add-on for free, which will be kind of hard. I think only very few payment gateways offer a free WooCommerce add-on. But this way, you know that this is a professionally made plugin and won't give you any problems whatsoever. So of course we're just needing this plugin for one store. So I'm just purchasing a single site license. So from the drop down, I'll just select single site license. At this point it's $79. You can click add to cart, and just go through the payment process for WooCommerce and check out. When you check out now, you'll have to pay, you'll have to input your personal information. But I already bought this I already have the Stripe extension purchase. So what I'll do is I'll go to my account. You can click on your name, or you can click on the My Account button, and it will take you to your dashboard. And from here you can either click downloads or your recent orders, which should be in your dashboard tab. So as you can see here, the latest order has been completed, and from here on I can click view, and it'll show me exactly the extension that I'm looking for, which is Stripe, right? Single license, and it'll give me the link that I need, which is right here. Once I click that particular link, I'll download that file, and I actually have that file ready to go. So once you have that file ready to go, you'll want to go ahead and install it through the backend of Wordpress. So here I am again looking at the backend of my store. Now from here on, you'll want to go to plugins, add new, and then from here we'll click on upload. then browse, and then select the file called WoCommerce Gateway Stripe.zip file, which is the file that I just downloaded. And once I have that, I'll just click install now. And excellent. WordPress will tell me that the plugin has been installed successfully, so from this point on I can just activate the plugin. Awesome. Alright, the plugin has been activated, so we'll go back to WooCommerce settings, and then we'll go to checkout, and you should now see a new option called Stripe. So we'll click that, click enable Stripe. We'll keep the store under test mode for now, and type in our live secret and publishable keys. And not only our live keys, but our test keys also. And what are these again? All you gotta do is just go back to your dashboard, go to account settings, you look for API keys, and all you gotta do is select all this key, which is really just a bunch of numbers and characters. So and like I said, this is how Stripe is gonna be connected to your WooCommerce store. So you'll just copy that test secret key, go back, test secret key, make sure you paste it in the right place, double click, actually triple click if you want to copy everything. I'm doing I'm sure if you can't see what I'm doing a Command C on a Mac, or Control C for you if you're on a Windows machine to copy, or just do it the old-fashioned way, do a right click, copy, and paste that. Now, live secret key. Alright, there we go. Now, like I said, you don't necessarily need your test keys. If you were just ready to go and ready to ready to make your website live and start taking orders from real customers, you would just need your live keys. But for now, since we're gonna keep our store under test mode, just so you can see how this is gonna work, that's why I'm gonna need to put in my test keys. Alright, so once we have that, you leave the every other option as it is, and then we'll click Save Changes. If I refresh my store, I now have a brand new beautiful option called credit cards, credit card, and then Stripe in parentheses, right? So I can just click that particular drop down, and from here on I can type in my credit card number, expiration date, and CVC code. And your WooCommerce store will tell you that test mode is enabled, so you can use this particular number which Stripe provides you with to test your plugin, to make a test purchase. So I'll just copy this number, this 424242, which is, like I just mentioned, a dummy credit card that you can use. then the expiration date has to be a date that is in the sometime in the future. So it can be, you know, yesterday or any day before that. So let's say it'll be 11. Expiration will be, say it'll be December 2014, right? Then the CVC code, any CVC code will do. Once I click place order, and boom, there we go. Once this is exactly what your customer will see once they put in their real credit card information and you have taken your store off of test mode. So once you are in live mode, customer will get you this, they will get this confirmation page, which will say, of course, thank you, your order has been placed or has been received. They'll give them an order number, the total, the payment method, and a summary of the order. Right now, let's say if I want to go and take a look at my Stripe account, like I said, right now it's live. All I need to do is take a look at it, just switch, you know, just click on that little switch between live and test. So right now my store or my Stripe payment gateway is under test mode, and you can see here I just received a payment of $249.99 today, which is of course the dummy purchase we just made. And total customers, so these are just your stats that Stripe provides you at a glance, right? Such as sales for the past 30 days or volume, total volume, etc., etc. So it's that simple, guys. That's all you need to do. If I went ahead and if I wanted more information, I can just click customers. It'll tell me the name of my customer, which of course is just me, the person that made that purchase. The payments, you can actually also go to transfers, and it will tell you exactly when you will receive that money. Of course, Stripe has their own fees, just like PayPal. Same exact amount of fees. I believe it's 2.9% plus 30 cents, something along those lines. Don't shoot me. I haven't checked those numbers recently, but they should be around that number. And they're exactly the same as Authorizenet or PayPal, since you know they're all in competition with each other. So those fees stay about the same. Of course, like I said, Stripe, the biggest thing about Stripe is that they don't have any monthly fees compared to the other two that I just mentioned. So, like I was saying, you will need an SSL certificate in order for Stripe to work. So, and an SSL certificate is really a requirement whenever you're not using a self-hosted payment gateway such as PayPal, right? So PayPal provides you with their own secure checkout because they have their own SSL certificates on their servers, which is basically all an SSL is just forms a secure connection between your customer's computer and your server, where you are receiving that sensitive information for your online store. Let's put it that way. So it creates this secure bridge between your store and your customers. So for example, let's say your customer is at Starbucks, and let's say they're trying to make a connection with your store. They're sending sensitive information over the web, and you're not using an SSL certificate on your store. That information may be or could be stolen through the air by a malicious hacker or person who may be at the same Starbucks you are, just having a program sniffing around for sensitive data going over the air that is unencrypted. So that is why an SSL certificate is a must. And as you can see here, Stripe will not let me continue until I have that installed on my server. As you can see here, I have a message saying Stripe is enabled, but the force SSL option is disabled. Your checkout may not be secure. Please enable SSL and ensure your server has a valid SSL certificate. Stripe will only work in test mode. So that is why if I uncheck the enable test mode option and I go back to the front end of my site, I will no longer be able to see the PayPal, or I'm sorry, the Stripe option for checkout. So it will only work under test mode. Now, like I said, once I have an SSL certificate installed, you will be able to see your Stripe checkout once again, even though it's in live view. Now we'll talk about SSL certificates, and they're really easy to install, especially if you're using a cPanel host like Bluehost or HostGator. And if your particular host doesn't, usually it's just a matter of giving them a call. So you can just call them and tell them you need an SSL certificate installed on your website, and at that point you can you can go back to WooCommerce settings, go to general, and you will be able to check that SSL option to force the checkout to be secure. So I believe it's under checkout. And at this point under checkout, you'll be able to see a for secure checkout option, which all it is, using this before, under your URL, instead of HTTP, you will see HTTPS, which means you are under a secure connection through an SSL certificate. So that's really it. If you want to take a look at how to install a SSL certificate, we'll be covering that in another lesson here shortly, probably in the next few days. So just keep an eye out for that one. Other than that, I think we covered everything I wanted to talk about in regards to PayPal, Stripe. Like I said, they're both great options. Unfortunately, Stripe is not supported in all countries. It's just a handful of countries at this point in time. So if you don't have Stripe in your country, or they're not supported yet, or they're not doing business in your country at this point, check out Authorizenet. And if that's not an option, then go with PayPal Pro, and we'll talk about that on another video. PayPal Pro is just like PayPal itself, except it's a paid account. So it's just like Authorize.net, where you gotta pay, I believe it's $30 a month, so you can you can take payments right within your website. You'll also need a SSL certificate for PayPal Pro, and you'll need to download the PayPal Pro plugin, checkout plugin for WooCommerce, and you do that just like we did before by going to woothemes.com and looking for the WooCommerce extensions. And then looking up PayPal Pro. So you see, as I scroll down, it'll be one of the very last ones, and it's the same price as the Stripe plugin that we just bought, right? Just like I mentioned before, you'll need an SSL certificate. You'll need a PayPal Pro merchant account, of course, and to do that you'll just need to go to PayPal, create your account first with PayPal and then sign up for the Pro account, which if you do a quick Google search for PayPal Pro, it'll take you through a process for your store, and at this point you can just request an upgrade for your account or create a brand new account. Like, let's say if I do have a PayPal account, let's try this again. So as you can see here, it's more for an application process for PayPal Pro. It's not as easy as just signing in for a standard PayPal account. So PayPal will need some information from you for your store, the average dollar amount per transaction for items, highest online sales volume you've had, so on and so forth, as well, of course, as legal information for your business and contact information, customer service, email. So yeah, it's not the like I said, it is an actual merchant account, so they'll need a whole bunch of information from you, just like Authorizenet would. So like I said, if you live in a country that supports Stripe, please check them out. It's only a handful, I believe it's 10 or 12 countries, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment. But I love them, and I've been using Stripe for the past couple of years, and I don't think I need to ever go back to just having a regular PayPal account, not unless I really had to. So yep, that's all I got for you guys today. If you got any questions or any comments, or if you want to find out more about other e-commerce resources and